We're so glad you're here to see Mike Davis and Bryce Edwards in hot combination. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here tonight at Birdland. This is really a special occasion on a number of fronts. Once again, my name is Mike Davis, and for purposes of tonight, this band is a hot combination. That first number was called After You've Gone, as many of you knew, I'm sure. And that was the version recorded by the Charleston Chasers. Now, the music we're celebrating tonight on this program is not only about great cornetist of the 1920s, the jazz age, the recording era. Red Nichols was born in Ogden, Utah. These people have good taste. Red only lived to be 60 years old, but he was one of the, if not the, most recorded cornet player of the 1920s. He was everybody's top call in the studio days when the economy was good, and that one was part of a studio group called the Charleston Chasers, as I mentioned, but the rest of what we're doing featured both him and a fantastic vocalist and ukulele player named Cliff Edwards. He was from Hannibal, Missouri himself, but show business brought him to first New York for recording and then later on Hollywood. We'll hear more about that later. But before we bring on our Cliff Edwards for the evening, I'd like you to meet the rest of these fantastic musicians, because joining them on those recording sessions, ironically enough, the record label was called Perfect Records. And I concur. And not only Red, I'm attempting to fill his shoes myself, but they had either Bobby Davis or Jimmy Lytle or Jimmy Dorsey on reeds on various sides. And tonight we've got Ricky Alexander. Red's longtime musical partner and foil, you might say, on the trombone was Miff Mole, and he's present on almost all of these sides also. And playing trombone tonight, I'm so happy to share the stage with this fellow that I went to music school with many years ago. That's Josh Holcomb. I transcribed most of these records myself for a festival last year in England, and I thought it would have been a shame not to perform these again, but I did need some help with the guitar because that's a lot of notes going on there. And he not only helped me with some of these, but he's doing a fantastic job playing guitar and banjo. That's Felix Lemaire. In the course of the program, we'll hear records that featured Arthur Schutt and Irving Brodsky, Paul Mertz, I think. Some great studio. There's sort of this music is its own thing, as you'll see. It's not really this, it's not really that. It's, what is it? I don't know, but it's hot jazz from the Jazz Age. And tonight we've got Dalton Ridenauer. Most of these records feature Joe Tardo on tuba, and it's fairly poorly recorded. Yes, Joe Tardo, all right. But unfortunately, it's not as well recorded as he would be a few years later, and in several cases it disappears entirely because Cliff Edwards has physically stepped into the metal recording horn with his ukulele so that his vocals can be heard. And I think they should have had bass saxophone anyway, so we've made a little editorialization there, and we've got Jay Ratman playing the bass. Most of these featured the one and only Vic Burton, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, an enigmatic percussionist, because he often disappears for a chorus or two at a time, and then comes back with hot cymbal as if he's been there the whole time. Somehow the time feels amazing through the whole record, and thankfully staying with us for most choruses tonight, all the way up from Austin, Texas to play for you folks. That's Colin Hancock. Now that we have a little bit of context, it's high time for me to stop talking and hand things over to our Cliff Edwards for the evening. You've probably seen him here on these Monday nights with his Frivolity Hour. I'd like to hand things over to Mr. Bryce Edwards.
Good evening, esteemed friends and colleagues. How are we doing? Is everybody happy? Glad to hear it. All right. Can you believe this band? Holy moly. It's almost a shame that I gotta sing over them. Oh man, well, I'm not going to talk anymore. Well, I'm going to talk a bit more later. I'm going to do a lot of talking, but right now I think I better sing something. So what do you say? Let's Love You Be Mine. Let's do it. 1, 2, 1.
Why do
in the water here. Oh man, thank you all so much for coming out. You don't know what a thrill it is for me to see all these people come out for the music of ukulele, Mr. Cliff Edwards, and Red Nichols. These are some of my all-time oh my God, I am all overclamped, let me tell you. But to see all these wonderful people all kind of coming out in our little tribute that we're doing here, and that's way overdue, about 100 years overdue, frankly. One of the very, very cool things about this set is that it's a lot of tunes that I'm sure a lot of you will not be familiar with unless you have the same thing that's wrong with me. But be that as it may, there are a lot of tunes that a lot of them are written by some of the most iconic songwriters of the jazz age. For instance, that was written by Walter Donaldson, who wrote songs like Love Me or Leave Me, or Makin' Whoopee, or My Blue Heaven. We all know My Blue Heaven, one of the most famous, there's thousands and thousands of recordings of that song. Yeah, so Love Me Be Mine, I love that tune because it really kind of captures the sort of manic yearning that I often feel when I'm in the early stages of a romance. There's something feverish about it that really strikes a chord with me. Now, of course, it's not all going to be obscurities. You're going to hear some songs you know. For instance, this one. It's called, well, why don't we just play it? You'll know it. You'll know it. Okay. Dinah, close. All right. 1, 2, 3. I suppose I should explain some things first. Well, I've been doing a lot of strange things with my mouth, and as I'm sure gathered at by this point, there's going to be a lot of that this evening. Well, I know it's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it, frankly. This early scat singing. It's called eefing. This is what Cliff Edwards called eefing. And he did it on record as early as 1922, making him one of the very first people to be recorded scat singing. And it's really kind of a wonderful thing. And that was his very first recording. So from the very beginning that we have a musical record of Cliff Edwards, of what he does, which is rather cool for 1922. I'm going to take a sip of water, 1 second.
Yeah. While you take that sip of water, I'd just like to point out that the composer of our next number, whom I'm sure you have more to tell us about, really liked long song titles. And in addition to our next selection, wrote one called I Got the Tomatoes, I Got the Potatoes, but Someone Else Has Got My Girl. And he also wrote one called Who Takes Care of the Caretaker's Daughter While the Caretaker's Busy Taking Care? There you go. Who are we talking about?
We like all the same stuff. Oh, man. Oh, wait, it's... Oh, that's right. Oh my God, that's all Chick Endor? I had no idea. No. All right. Well, but in addition to being a great early scat vocalist, Cliff Edwards also, well, I'll tell you a little more after this song. How about we would introduce it? Here's a song, it's kind of forward thinking because so much has been said about the dichotomy of man. This one's kind of about the dichotomy of women. No, it was 1924. It's called How Can You Look So Good and Still Be So Doggone Bad? Cue the eye rolls. But it's a nutty little tune. Let's take it away, folks. to talk a little bit more about the genesis of the ukulele. If we have a quick, like, 45 minutes. basically, so Cliff Edwards, he left school at age 14, this is circa 1909. He was supporting himself working in a shoe factory and singing in saloons and in between pictures in silent movie houses. And I also read somewhere that he was doing percussion and sound effects for these movies, which makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, right? Things are connecting. Now, after one too many poor experiences with janky saloon pianos, he marches himself into a music store, and he says, "Give me your cheapest, most portable instrument," and they hand him a ukulele. Now, he finds that the ukulele is ideal for saloon performance, because he can you're not fixed to one point. He can walk around with the ukulele, he can go up to each table and not leave until they tipped him. It is at one of these type establishments where a waiter who could not remember his name dubbed him Ukulele Ike, and that was a moniker that lasted for his entire career. So the weird kind of circumstantial genesis of this great performer, and with his ukulele he transformed himself into an incredible self-contained act. He was like a one-man jazz band. It's really incredible, the stuff that he was. And then when he gets with Red Nichols, one of the great things is you really hear this in Love You Be Mine, he becomes part of the ensemble. Like, you talk about like Ella Fitzgerald, when she's scatting, she's like an instrumentalist with her. And when you talk about like 20s jazz, you know, such a big part of it is polyphonous ensemble playing, and he buys into that. He becomes part of that. He's not just a vocalist. He becomes part of the band. It's incredible. And I'll tell you more later, maybe. This is another song that might be considered a standard. It was written by a gifted human named Vincent Humans. I came up with that. It was written with the lyrics by Miss Anne Caldwell, who actually wrote the book to Flying Down to Rio, the first Fred and Ginger movie. Anywho, I could talk for a million years, so let's just play the darn thing, okay? I Know That You Know, great song about mutual understanding.
I long to hold you in my arms. This time
it for Bryce Edwards. We're going to give him a little well-earned break now, because that is not as easy as he's making it look. He's got to drink some water, eat some cough drops, do a little gargling. Do that spray thing they do in old movies. What is that? That thing. Oh, you know it.
And spray.
Well, you learn something new every day, folks, don't you? Anyway, we're going to break the band down a little bit now and do a number composed by Red Nichols. I thought this was nice programming because it's from around the same time, and they recorded this under the studio name of We Three, but in this case, it's Red on cornet, the great Arthur Schutt on piano, and Vic Burton is playing only a cymbal, only some of the time. And somehow it's perfect. It wouldn't be better with a whole drum set. It would be probably also good if Vic Burton played it, but somehow not as good. So this song is called Plenty Off Center, and our friend Andy Shum in Chicago found the original published sheet music for this. I wrote this out based on that. So here we go with Plenty Off Center featuring Dalton on the piano and Colin on the cymbal. While I'm talking about the drum set also, I should thank our friend downstairs, Vince Giordano, let us use this beautiful period appropriate bass drum. All right, here's Plenty Off Center. That's Colin Hancock on the Sept. Who needs a whole drum set? All right, we're going to bring Bryce back now. I think we need all the help we can get. The rest of the band too, for that matter. Over to you.
Oh, thank you. Man, the first time I heard you play that, I think it was like about 2 years ago. I think it was well, it was you and Dalton, and I think it was at Zinc, and man, I just flipped my toupee because I never expected to ever hear that played live, and there Mike goes up and does that, and I was like, oh my, and I'm a long-time Red Nichols fan, because, you know, I feel like people deserve to know that the beboppers weren't the first to make jazz needlessly complicated. It's such a thrill to just every time to hear that. Now we've got a great tune now that I feel like kind of harkens back to Cliff Edwards' days in vaudeville, which he toured with vaudeville non-stop in the late teens and early 20s. His first big hit in vaudeville was a song called Jada Jada Jing Jing Jing, yeah? Which is really the Seinfeld of standards, because it really is a song about nothing. And yet it's great, it's so good. But this is a song called How She Loves Me Is Nobody's Business, a song with so many choruses and so many hokey lyrics, and it's one of my favorites. Let's. One, two. We're gonna show you a different side of Cliff Edwards now. So here's one of my favorite tunes from these sessions, because I think it's really impressive what he does here. I consider Cliff Edwards to be one of really the proto-crooners. So like you have like the first wave of crooners of people like Bing Crosby and Russ Columbo and Rudy Vallée, who has kind of a foot in both. Cliff Edwards really, and these are acoustic recordings, and now Colin over here is an acoustic recording engineer. He made some of the very first acoustic sessions here in New York since probably 1930, and I had the immense privilege of making a recording with actually most of these folks up here of a song called "Everything Is Hotsy Totsy Now." And one thing that one learns when doing an acoustic recording is it does not allow for much intimacy. It does not allow for much, you know, Bing Crosby was famous for singing as though he was whispering into your ear, and Rudy Vallée was famous for singing as though whispering into your ear through a megaphone. But you know, you couldn't really do that on these early records, and Cliff does something, gets some moments in here that are so wonderfully intimate, and I think it's really, really, truly wonderful. So, here is a song called "Dreaming of a Castle in the Air." Never knew till I met you that dreams would ever come true. But now I find you're just the kind, and since I met you, darling, you're on my mind. Dreaming of a castle in the air, roses blooming there, where there's love and laughter everywhere. Neath that moon above, where the hours amongst the flowers pass away while moonbeams gaily play around you. The whole world seems to be in love, watching all the silvery stars aglow. Songbirds seem to know it's the proper thing to do, to sing melodies so rare. Let me stay and while away the golden hours of every day with only you within my castle in the air. Dreaming of a castle in the air, roses blooming there, full of love and laughter everywhere. Neath that moon above, where the hours amongst the flowers pass away while moonbeams gaily play around you. The whole world seems to be in love, watching all the silvery stars aglow. Songbirds seem to know it's the proper thing to do, to sing melodies so rare. Let me stay and the golden hours of every day, with only you within my castle in the air. Here's one. It says, "Say!" Exclamation point. "Who is that baby?" Whoa! Did I do that? That was good. This is one. It's got a melody by Maceo Pinkard, who wrote "Sweet Georgia Brown." And even if you don't know it, yes, you do. It's buried back there somewhere, I'm sure. All right, here's a tune. "Say, who is that baby doll?" Oh man, yeah. Weasel back under the piano for a second.
Yes, you do that. No, you've earned it. Take a little break. One more time, Bryce Edwards. We're going to do the other side that they recorded under the name of We Three, except as so often happens with 1920s band names, this time there are 4 people. So I don't know which 3 they're referring to, but in this case it's Red Nichols, Arthur Shutt, Vic Burton again, again disappearing for whole choruses at a time. And the great Eddie Lang is on guitar, and in this case, this was way too much transcribing for me, so Mr. Felix Lemare wrote these notes down. We're going to feature him on this. And by now you've heard that not only Edwards, but also Nichols, in a way, has this masterful combination of technical ability, but also a fun... It's sort of a joke, but it's hard to do. So is it a joke or not? Or is it difficult? Well, yes it is, but... So we're somewhere in this no man's land of frivolity. And in that spirit, this is another Red Nichols composition called Trumpet Sobs.
Bryce Edwards. It's so incredible. Oh my God, Felix. To hear Felix as Mr. Eddie Lang, or as Bing Crosby would call him, Uncle Salpy. Mr. Eddie Lang was actually part of a great jazz instrumental vocal duo himself. He was the preferred accompanist of Bing Crosby until his death in 1933. And man, it's so great to hear him so vividly alive. Now, Trumpet Sobs here starts out the little section in the show. I call this, we had a little bit of this earlier, but our hot schmaltz section. Hot schmaltz. I would say hot schmaltz is my favorite genre of music. It's stuff that can be, that's both very sentimental, but also, can be played in kind of a hot, jazzy way. But it doesn't lose any of that sentimentality. And here's, I think, the perfect hot schmaltz song just about. Lonely Eyes, Harry Axt and Benny Davis, who wrote Babyface. You've got the cutest little baby face. We know that tune, right? We're all gonna sing it, right? All right. Oh God, I'll spare the boys. Here's Lonely Eyes. Did have a very pretty voice. He had a 3-octave range, and I really do think that he should have been greater recognized in the age of the crooners, because he had a voice that was wonderfully suited for the electric microphone. But the thing is, he just didn't have the sex appeal of someone like Russ Columbo, which I mean, and oh, what sex appeal! But I mean, he did create something in Pinocchio. Did I say that? Did I forget to say that? That's how everyone knows him. All right, well now you know. That's how you all know his voice. But I mean, in that period, he was really sort of down and out. I'll speak a little bit about that later. But Well, we're gonna do a song that's a little bit tongue-in-cheek in its drama. There's a little bit of Victorian melodrama in it, I think. That's the vibe that it gives to me. It's like halfway between the jazz age disillusionment of F. Scott Fitzgerald and like she's more to be pitied than censored, that sort of thing. So it's an odd little tune, and I really enjoy it. It's called "The Lonesomest Girl in Town." we do our final number, I would like to thank some wonderful, wonderful people. I'd like to thank the entire beautiful Birdland staff for running such a tight ship. I come here and everyone's so nice to me, and I really appreciate that. You know, it's good to have a place where you feel at home, and you know, I love it here. And I love to see Zach, who's our floor manager tonight, and he's doing such a wonderful job. And all the wonderful family, and Jim Caruso, who has put such stock into this wonderful thing that we're doing here, but that many people might not really recognize what the value of it is. But you heard it. It's fun, wonderful music. And so thank you so much, Jim, for taking a bit of a risk on the Red Nichols Cliff Edwards show. And I'd like to thank Mr. Johnny Valenti not only for running this establishment that is a true, it is an institution of New York, and of the world. Oh, and I have to thank Mr. Vince Giordano. Johnny has put up so much wonderful traditional jazz, and in a way that few other venues in New York are still doing. So, like there's Vince, there's High Society Band and with Mr. Connell Fouts, and so many wonderful things. I'd like to thank this wonderful, wonderful orchestra. Has served as our music director, our fearless leader. He so lovingly created these arrangements, and just about everyone on this stage, really, they know what it's about when you talk about this music. I know Colin loves these records as much as I do, which is really rare. And oh my God, I'm just so thrilled. It's like a dream come true. I never thought this would ever happen in my life. And let's see, I want to thank Mr. Sidney Meyer, who I've been seeing right here, who gave me my first start in a cabaret kind of setting. And I have a story, well, it's an anecdote mainly. Sidney, the first time I ever met with Mr. Sidney Meyer, I told him, I love Cliff Edwards, he is one of my biggest musical influences, and he says, there needs to be a show about that, that's a story that needs to be told. And Sidney Meyer said that to me. And here we're doing a Cliff Edwards show. So we've got one more. Oh wait, I want to tell you who wrote Lonesomest Girl in Town. It's Al Dubin, the lyric of 42nd Street and Gold Diggers in 1933, which may not be my favorite movie, but it's the one that I like the most. And Jimmy McHugh, who wrote great songs like the melodies to Sunny Side of the Street and I Can't Give You Anything But Love, George, Nice George. Someone got that. All right. So let's do, this is another Maceo Pinkard melody. It's Someone's Stolen My Sweet, Sweet Baby From Me. Oh, but it's upbeat. You'll see. What a surprise. All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. She didn't care to meet me. I'm not down and
Bryce. I do have to talk for a minute myself.
Please, talk. I'm so sorry.
You don't have to be sorry, just let me talk. Those are two different things now. I wrote all these arrangements out for a festival in England last year with an entirely different band, and they probably hadn't been performed, most of them, in the intervening 100 years. And I thought, it would sure be a shame if it were another 100 years until they got played again. And I can't sing like Ukulele Ike, and besides, somebody's got to play cornet while he's doing that. But I know somebody who's into Ukulele Ike. And it took about a year and a half to put this together, but isn't Bryce Edwards the perfect person to sing? From time to time, wherever we're employed, I lead a band myself, normally called the New Wonders, and we've, thank you. We recorded for the Turtle Bay record label. We're very proud of how that came out, and we've got CDs and LPs over here for sale of many of these same musicians, as a matter of fact. But we haven't yet recorded Bryce and I together. Should we do that? Okay. Let's make a note of that. Over to you. What do we have for the last number?
Okay, well, thank you so much, Mike. Oh my God. Well, this is actually not something that Cliff Edwards recorded with Red Nichols, but it is one that he did that was his big theme song for a decade, and I wrote a little arrangement that's like kind of, it's inspired by the work of Red Nichols in the later 20s, and I mean, okay, so this tune, Cliff Edwards was such a major star in the 1920s. He introduced fascinating rhythm in the show Lady Be Good. This isn't the song that we're going to sing, but I'm just telling you, this was also the launching point of Fred Nadell Astaire. He was on top of the world. He goes to Hollywood, and in 1929, and he introduces a song called "Singin' in the Rain." "Singin' in the Rain" in 1929, which of course we all know from the groundbreaking MGM musical picture. The Hollywood Review of 1929. Right? Yes. And but it really seemed like Cliff was on top of the world then, and you know, he really took a hard turn. What Spat said was he was divorced more times than he was married, which really he was paying out the nose in alimony. He was an alcoholic. He was a gambler. He was an addict, and he was making. He made like under-the-counter like records that were really dirty, but they were great. I mean, they were very funny, but like the kind of stuff that a star of that caliber you wouldn't think would need to do. But throughout this whole period until he made Pinocchio, this was his theme song. And I think when you think of his theme song in that period, this song. It really, I'm sorry, it's poignant, it's poignant. Serious, okay. All right, here's "Singin' in the Rain" in the Nichols-esque diaspora as about as well as I can get it. All right. 1, 2, 3. Down the lane to a happy refrain, just singing
just a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. And the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Beyond the rain I have a smile on my face. I walk down the lane with a happy refrain.